The first match of the NXT pay-per-view Great American Bash saw Jasper Troy versus Javon Evans. Jasper Troy has been on a metric rise ever since he stepped into the ring on LFG, but Javon Evans reminded him there are levels to this game. Troy looked to bully his way through the match early on, but Evans would put his aerial skills on display with a splash outside the ring and a frog splash that flipped the match into his favor. Troy, not going down without a fight, hit a vicious chokeslam, seemed to set up Troy for a victory rally, but as Troy looked to put the match away, Evans with a sneaky roll-up to get the 1, 2, 3 to escape Great American Bash with the win. The second match was for the NXT Women's North American Championship. We have Ruca versus Izzi Dame. It didn't take long for this match to heat up as Tatum Paxley and Zarya, who were outside the ring, immediately mixed it up and created enough of a distraction for Izzi Dame to crush Ruca with a powerbomb and might have scored championship gold if the official wasn't preoccupied with the stuff outside the ring. As the match wore on, the spears started flowing as Ruca flattened Dame and Zarya leveled Paxley after she got involved to save the challenger from a pinfall. Ruca then would rise above the chaos and hit her finisher, the Soul Snatcher, putting the touches on a successful defense. So your winner of the match, and still the NXT Women's North American Champion, Ruca. The next match was between two bitter rivals, Ethan Page and Ricky Saints, for the NXT Men's North American Championship in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Ricky Saints came out swinging and wasted little time ratcheting up the Falls Count Anywhere match with weapons and a journey through the concourse that was highlighted by a trip through the merchandise table for the champion. In a jaw-dropping moment, Page went from all ego to all destruction as he nearly shattered the spine of Ricky Saints with successful slams onto steel chairs, a steel guardrail. There was a fire extinguisher involved in the match where Ethan Page got sprayed with. There was Jasper Troy, who Ricky Saints got bumped into, and Jasper Troy hit Ricky Saints with his finisher. Page was able to stand above the wreckage and toss Saints from the skies through two tables below to set up the pain. So he got through off the stage into two tables and got pinned 1, 2, 3. And your winner of the match, and still the NXT North American Champion, all ego, Ethan Page in what I call the best match of the night. Next we have Joe Hendry and Mike Santana unite to silence Trick Williams during the contract signing. All three of them signed the contract. Trick Williams left the ring and was on the ramp when all of a sudden Dark State appeared and took out Joe Hendry and Mike Santana. So everything is set for the TNA Championship for Slammiversary, and I think they did a great job hyping up the match. Fair play to Dark State, making an impact. Next we have Oba Femi defending his NXT Championship against the bruising Yoshiki Inamura. Oba Femi has been a fighting champion for 186 days as the NXT title holder, and Inamura really put him to the tests with Jasper at ringside. The Pro Wrestling Noah standout built momentum with repeating strikes and showed off his strength with an impressive suplex of his own. Josh Briggs put his foot on the scale by crushing Femi with his own title, but Inamura basically cost himself by yelling at Briggs, saying, "What are you doing?" after Josh Briggs crushed Oba Femi with the title. Yoshiki Inamura took his time and wanted to fight with honor, which ended up costing him the NXT Championship. The hesitation allowed Femi to regroup and retain with a earth-shattering fall from grace. Yoshiki really put up a good fight, hitting his finisher, doing everything right except winning the match. So your winner, and still the NXT champion, Oba Femi. Congratulations for both men putting up a very great match. Next, we had Blake Monroe and Jordynne Grace joining forces to take on Jacy Jayne, the NXT Women's Champion, and Fallon Henry. It was all glitz and glamour in the main event of NXT Great American Bash as Blake Monroe shined in her NXT debut, and Jordynne Grace made the statement she wanted ahead of her impending showdown with Jacy for Sunday's Evolution pay-per-view. Fatal Influence stuck to their game plan throughout with distraction after distraction on the outside, by a huge boot by Jayne to Grace, and Fallon Henry's brutal spear to Monroe. Chaos defined the entire match as even the current TNA Women's Champion Marsha Slamovich even entered the fray, but a spinning back fist by the Muscle Muffin set up Monroe for a double arm DDT for the 1, 2, 3, and Blake Monroe got the pin on Jacy Jayne, which might set up a view for the future. So your winners of the match are Blake Monroe and Jordynne Grace for the main event of NXT. Blake Monroe looked good in her debut. Thank you for watching the show. And NXT Great American Bash. Have a wonderful morning, noon, night, whatever it is for you. I will be streaming WWE Evolution at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday. Take care, everybody. Peace.